Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Carol and Catherine. Welcome to James to the group chat. You're right, James. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, just chilling at home, same as everyone else. Just trying to get by.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself, your role, what you study?
Yeah, so I'm James. I'm fourth year German and history student. I'm president of men's hockey, and I'm also a sports rep.
Cool, cool. So obviously it's been a strange year, but we know loads of sports clubs have actually managed to keep a lot of activities going and open. So what have you been up to? What have men's hockey been doing when we could do sports?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a strange year. It's a great way of putting it. Obviously, in summer when I was running, or even before then, last spring, at that point it looked like things were going to get a bit better in September. So at that point, we were thinking about consolidating on all the great things that had happened in the normal year, the last normal year as it was. But yeah, I have to say it's been eye-opening, and I echo the words of people who've spoken before me in the interviews. It's just been inspiring to see how communities have come together, and actually, to turn a negative into a positive. It's been a quite refreshing. We've had a lot more time to focus on issues we probably normally wouldn't have done, or at least not in as much depth. So things like supporting Black Lives Matter in a far bigger way than we had before in Black History Month. Movember was very fortunate to have a great volunteering sec in Henry. So we more than doubled the money we raised last year, raised over £2,000, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's mostly been focusing on things that are less tangible, changing the constitution to kind of reaffirm our commitment to diversity and inclusion. And I know lots of other clubs like lacrosse have been doing very similar things. So yes, it's been actually fantastic.
That's quite good. It's quite good and refreshing to hear that you've had such a productive year when a lot of clubs and sides have had their activity stopped. So it's quite good to hear. What's your most enjoyed moment, or what bit did you enjoy the most about leading your club this year, about being president?
That's difficult to answer. Um, I think I would have thought in the beginning, like my preconceptions coming into the role would be like one of our main events, like varsity. Obviously, sadly, that's not going to happen in the same way as it would have done in previous years. But as the years gone on, and as I said before, the most enjoyable thing is being at a social on a Wednesday and seeing, in spite of everything, 40 people show up, have a fantastic time, and come together in spite of everything that's going on outside. People log in on Zoom or whatever, and it's just fantastic to see people still making connections, making friends, even when we can't do what is our core function as a hockey club to play hockey. People are still connecting with each other online. So that's probably the most enjoyable thing, I think.
Cool, cool. And you guys have been very, very active in all the Team UCL lockdown challenges. So it's good to know you guys are still creating that community. So what about being president and being a leader? How important do you think it is that a club like yours will have a strong leadership going into next year, which hopefully will be like a normal year where sports are allowed to happen?
Mm. I mean, yeah, obviously it's important to have good leaders, right? Especially in challenges or challenging times such as this. But I don't think, like, to anyone watching who's a possible candidate or whatever, you shouldn't be put off by that challenge. I found that, as people again have said before, the amount of support and the amazing environment we're in at the moment, where you can have a lot of responsibility and also a lot of freedom to make change without fearing the consequences as much as you might do, say, in a work environment or in an independent organization. So yeah, obviously it's really important to have strong leadership, but I think more so it's important to remember you're still a student. This is a club, and the main thing is just to be passionate about hockey in my case, or whatever sport it is, or whatever other activity it might be. And the main thing I think actually I felt this year, the main thing for me is just to be open to my members, firstly, to let them know what's going on, and also to be receptive to their ideas. It's not, sometimes I certainly had the misconception before that you're expected to do everything, and that's really not the case. Everyone wants your club to succeed, especially committee. And I'm obviously very grateful to have such a fantastic committee with me this year. So yeah, so I think that's the main thing, to be honest, is just to be passionate, and I'm sure lots of people out there are.
Yeah, it's definitely quite important, and yeah, like you said, we do provide loads of support. There's support from the union. We host training sessions. We're going to do extra training this summer, for those students that might not have that experience of being in a leadership position. So what about like the other committee roles? So obviously you're the president. I was a sports. I was in the football club, and I was a club captain, and I was a vice president of the club. So what other committee roles do you guys have, and would you recommend for people to step up to them? What would you say to them?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'd recommend all of them. Certain ones, like president, treasurer, it would be preferable to have a bit of prior experience, but that's really, that doesn't have to be the case. The other positions we have that I'm sure most other clubs do are welfare officer. This year, more than any other, really, is that has been hugely important. We've held weekly drop-ins, anonymous messaging services, and things like that. So that's a hugely important position. Marketing as well, obviously making sure students know what's going on, right? So every week they can come to our socials and we don't have, no one in the meeting or whatever. And then other things we have, as I said before, volunteering, fixtures set, and fitness as well. Obviously everyone's indoors, but it's really important that people still go outside, and it's so beneficial for your well-being to still exercise. So yeah, we have a dedicated fitness sec. As you say, other clubs have club captains. Obviously, we have team captains. So there's a huge variety of positions and responsibilities. But the main thing I'd say is, as I've said before, if you're already passionate about hockey, no matter what position, or any sport, no matter what position you go into, I'm sure you'll make a difference. And at the end of the day, that's the main thing. It's a student organisation, and it's the experience of leading. Even if you've got no experience, or if you're not sure you want to make the jump, just go for it, because even if not everything comes out how you want, you've learned from the experience, and you can take that forward into your job or into later life. So yeah, there's just so many opportunities on offer. So just get involved.